The video game world is still buzzing from the unveiling of Sony's PlayStation 5. Besides images of the new console and its accessories, here's what we know. Nothing. We know little to nothing about this device that may change the gaming and toy industry for the next few years. But let's go over what we do know with Toy Insider James Zahn and our very own tech editor, Dan Halley. Good to see you both. James, I'll start with you here. Solve this debate for us internally. I think one of the consoles that have been suggested with no discs might spell the end of a GameStop. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's going to cause them some problems. And as we've seen already just in the first quarter of this year, as stores were closed, the gaming industry has had this huge boom. But GameStop, they just reported their financials, and they had a 519% increase in digital sales, which means that people are just buying it at home and downloading it to their consoles already. So what use is going to a physical store? And now that Sony is offering a PS5 in what they're calling a digital edition that doesn't have that optical drive on it, I don't see any reason, because also Sony is really pushing to have the games then installed on that SSD drive that they've got to take full advantage of the power of this new system.
Hey, James, just what are your initial thoughts on the unveiling, on how it is up against the new Xbox console and Nintendo Switch? How does it stack up?
It's a great looking machine. I know the fans were sort of mixed on it, on that it looks like a coffee machine or, a Roomba or something. It's very sleek. It's got the white kind of Apple sleek lines to it, but great looking machine. I've never seen so many games revealed at once, I don't think, for any of these new consoles. They did like 25 new games that hits on all interests. As far as stacking up against Xbox, of course, you've got loyalists on both sides for Microsoft and Sony. I think some of the exclusive titles are really going to be important here. With Switch really has the family market down pat. But then we've got some surprisingly cute titles coming out of Sony for this. They showed that Sackboy game yesterday, Sackboy: A Big Adventure. That's based on the popular Little Big Planet franchise from about 12 years ago. That's going to draw in that younger audience where PlayStation is typically skewed towards an older audience. So I think Sony is definitely getting ready to battle in attracting all ages, all members of the family. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that shakes out. But Switch is going to be solid, I think, for a number of years yet.
Dan, I know you're a big PS5 fan. How terrified should the Xbox be?
They should be relatively nervous, especially with the amount of games that they showed off. I think the big problem for Sony, though, is how much the console is going to cost. And that also, goes for Microsoft as well. But Sony has a history of overpricing its consoles to its detriment. The PS3, when it originally launched, was available for $499 and $599, depending on the size of the hard drive you got. That's why the PlayStation 3 was received so poorly by gamers, and why Microsoft managed to take off so well with the Xbox 360. Now, we saw kind of the flip this time around with the PS4 and the Xbox One. The issue with Microsoft for the Xbox One was when they originally announced it, they said it had all this digital rights management. That meant you wouldn't be able to sell used games that you purchased on the console. And, it was just an overall poor performance from them from the get-go for the One. So I think for Sony this time around, they have to make sure pricing is online, and Microsoft as well.
Hey, James, I have to say I'm really jealous. You have a baby Yoda over your left shoulder, and he is adorable.
That is true.
Any word on when are we going to see The Mandalorian return to Disney Plus? Do you know?
Yeah, you're looking at October on that. Production for The Mandalorian was not interrupted. They actually wrapped filming in February. They were already set up to go digital. Of course, all those folks at Disney and Industrial Light and Magic, Lucasfilm, they've been innovators in the digital space for years, so they were pretty seamless in letting all of their staff members take post-production home with them. So we are going to see that hit in October, and there's some great new products. I know we've talked about it a bit in the past, and we're seeing some really cool reveals. As a matter of fact, this morning company Diamond Select Toys just revealed a really sweet chrome Mandalorian with a tiny baby Yoda that was supposed to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Now they're going to sell it online.
Oh, wow. Maybe can you secure me one of those, James?
I don't think that's in my wheelhouse.
Only kidding. All right. Always good to see you. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.